the Flo Factory Podcast, and we're back with another Florida legend, Miami's very own Clinton Portis. What's up, my guy?
Man, I'm coolin', man. Appreciate you all having me.
Man, we appreciate you for pulling up, man. We fresh down here. You know, this is post Florida State game. Miami dismantling the Florida State Seminoles. Your son commits to Miami. What does that feel like, man?
Man, it felt great, you know, just to see the environment, Hard Rock Stadium, to have that environment again, to see the fan support. Of course, we wanted a better game. Like, you want to catch Florida State at their best and not their worst. So it was one of those games, like, you already know you're going to win. Like, you know the outcome. But I think just for the environment and what the U is doing, it was great. And even for my son, having that opportunity to be involved, to see like what you're entering, you know, like that's huge because he had the opportunity to go wherever he wanted to. So for them to not cheat the process and give him the attention that he feels he deserves, to do it honest, for that to be the place he chose, with his mom running track at UM, me playing ball at UM. So that's a real legacy. Like, your parents met at the U,
right?
Now you're there. So yeah, I think right now it's so fresh that you can't even appreciate it. But it's like, damn, you know, like, damn, you know.
Full circle, man.
Was that his first moment with you in that stadium?
No. We've been games forever, you know, since they were born. But just to have that moment where it wasn't about me.
Right.
It was about him. That's the reason we were here. That's the reason the festivities was going on. Like, it was for him and in his moment. So it was like, as a father, you get the opportunity to just sit back. Like, I don't have no work to do. This is not about me. I didn't have to worry about the tickets and planning. And you're here as a recruit. I'm here as a parent. Like, you know, all the rules that come with it. I'm just out of the way, and this is your moment. So I think it was great, you know, just for him to be able to share that. And then with all the other guys, you know, the Edge, the Willis, the Mikes, the Rays, like, they've been around now. So now you really see it.
Yeah.
What type of just advice you would give him? I think it takes a little pressure off of him playing a different position than what you played going to Miami, so that takes a little pressure off him, but he still got to live up to that name and legacy a little bit. So what type of advice and mentoring you giving him in that aspect?
Well, you know, I think for me, my thing is trying to instill the competitor, because that's normally what elevates us in life. You know, it could be good or bad, contingent upon your habit. But as a competitor, if you got that competitive spirit in you, you're not shying away from competition. You're not shying away from the moment. Like, you want to be in that moment. So for me, it's trying to get you to understand what that moment is. And if you could capture those moments when they're available and you put a lot together, you got an opportunity to do something special. And that's in life, not just on the field. So it's one of those, because it's your kid, and your kid look at you totally different in the world.
Right.
You know, they with you every day. So when you get an opportunity to be a part of it, it's just that, appreciate this. You know, I think they always like, man, people talk to you. Like, people always run up to you. Like, why? You know, even when we're on family outing or we're doing something, it's like, I always say, it's easier to appreciate them people because they appreciate you than to be rude and you ruin their moment, because that carries and goes a lot further than me saying what's up or listening to you share a story that meant something to you that came from me, you know?
Right.
So I was just trying to get them to understand that, like, little intricate parts of the game that if you haven't experienced it, you don't know.
Yeah. So you lived in Gainesville, born in Mississippi. How did you end up at the University of Miami?
So my journey was different. Coming out of Mississippi, it was just one of those times my cousin had ended up getting killed. Family just, you know, it was one of those situations where my family in the SIP, like in our town, my family was a family. So kind of to escape that, my mom up and moved, and it was just me and my mom. And then when we made that move, it was at that critical part of life, you know, I was going to the 7th grade. So that's your decision making, your friends, like your kind of appeal where you start finding out what you like or what you're into.
Right.
And for me, because I'm in a new place, I don't know these people, I'm country, I'm competitive, but you don't know I'm competitive. So I got stuff to prove. You go through 7th and 8th grade, it's like for 2 years, I'm trying to show you, like I'm with it. I'm with the shit. Like I can do this. Like, you know, we in the gym, you don't get picked first or second. If you don't get picked first, for me, I don't care what we playing.
Yeah.
If you don't pick me first, that created an issue amongst us. And you know, just as a kid, it's something to trigger you. It's something to get you going. Like, I'm gonna prove to you, okay, you picked him. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna dog him and I'm gonna dog him. So it was one of those. So 7th and 8th grade, I just kind of took that time to learn the lay of the line. The lay of the land. So in that learning process, I skipped a lot of stuff. Kids doing wrong. I skipped that because I was new. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I wasn't trying to fit in. I just ain't give a damn. Like, I don't care. You know, oh man, you country. I was wearing Jabos. You know, I was listening to BG and wearing Jabos way before everybody else.
Yeah.
So when it came down to it, now all of a sudden y'all got the Jabos with the big letters on it. I got the Jabos with the little patch right there where, you know, it's 3-4 colors on the Jabos, married, Franco, you know, like, so it was different. So to just catch up where you like, damn, I'm kind of like the outcast, but I know I'm cool. I know I'm up on something. So it was kind of like that. And then to find my way, to find my crew, when I hit high school, it was just one of those, from my middle school, we had so much talent at the middle school, like the who's who in Gainesville, my era, all went to middle school with me. So we had so much talent. It was like I didn't want to go and continue to play with them. Like I wanted to prove to you I can carry my own torch. So finding your own identity, finding your own crew, your own lane, I think I did that in high school. And to get to that point, my best friend from high school was a senior, and I was a junior, and Florida kind of screwed him over, you know. So with Florida screwing him over, when my time came and the offer came, it was already assaulting. It's like, nah, you just played with my man.
Who was it?
You know, it was Rod Littles, my best friend. His name was Rod Littles. He ended up going to the University of Maryland.
Okay.
But coming out of our city, he was a big deal. Like, he was a head buster. Every Friday, story come out in the paper. Like, he probably was the first. It's called Little's Diary. So I got to see him. I was kind of in his shadow. So he gave us the spotlight. He put the attention on us, and we just ran with it, you know? So for me, it was like every story, if I'm breaking it down, like all my stories gonna give, this was my break or this was my opportunity. I was just sitting here learning, picking up the game or finessing my identity until it popped, you know? Right. Even to coming to Miami, I think you go on your visits, you see the schools. I went to the University of Maryland, Southern Miss, unofficial. We went to Clemson, UCF, and South Florida. Like just being around the guys, and it take that. You realize when you're in the room you're supposed to be in, and mine just so happened to be in an apartment off Santa Maria Drive across the street from the University of Miami. It was James Jackson apartment on my recruiting visit.
Crib. Yeah.
And bro, you would have thought, man, we shooting dice. They, that's when Black and Miles, people
Oh,
were
yeah.
smoking blacks. They smoking blacks. I wasn't. But we shooting dice, playing cards. They smoking blacks like it was a hangout.
Right.
And then it was across the street from campus. So you like, oh, this campus life, like this is a house party.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those vibes where I knew this was where I was supposed to be.
You mentioned in one of your interviews, you said the best decision that your mom made was moving her family from Mississippi to Gainesville. And me and bro was talking yesterday, and we were saying a lot of time it's like parents, we make these like decisions and not, we're doing it for the best for our family, but we really don't know how it's going to pan out in the end. You guys was blessed that it panned out for you guys, but you ever been in a position where, like, as a parent, like you made a decision for the family and one that did pan out and one that didn't?
Yeah, most of my decisions once you become a parent is made off of it. I think when you go from me retiring prematurely, I was a parent. I retired. The kids just coming of age. I retired in 2011. Chaz was born in 2007. So kids 3, 4. Then you start getting involved in the daily, and that's what people don't realize about a lot of active players. It's like when you're on the go, you're on the go. But when you finally get a chance to sit still, be normal, do normal things, pick the kids up from school, hang out with the kids, learn their favorite colors, and you start getting involved in their daily, like, damn, I'm missing a lot,
Yeah.
So to get to that point, I always think about Sean T, and his story. And it's like, well, when he got baby Jackie, he changed. You're like, oh man, everybody have kids. That don't mean you change. But then for me, like I look at that, like how did my kids impact me? So for me to leave South Florida, for me to retire from the NFL, to leave South Florida, to move to Charlotte, a lot of those decisions was based on South Florida was great. South Florida has always been great to me, will always be great to me. But it was like one of those, if you're not partying, if you're not in the action, what you doing down here?
Right. Right.
Once the chasing women, once the fast life kind of slow down, Miami not really the place you want to be. Like what else is going on? So it was like finding a city where the kids didn't have to have the pressure of following in my footsteps, or every time somebody hear Portis, it's ringing the bell and, oh, you Clinton, like your dad. So it was kind of like fresh start, like where could we go? And Charlotte ended up being that location. And now I'm so in love with Charlotte. It's like, I won't leave. The only way I leave Charlotte is if I move to the water in Tampa, Sarasota.
Right. Right.
Other than that, I wouldn't leave.
Yeah, I've been hearing great things about Charlotte, man. A lot of blacks, people moving there. It's like some people call it the new Atlanta in a lot of sense, man.
But if you know Atlanta, the difference is when people say the old Atlanta was like beautiful blacks with money,
Right.
successful. When you look at Charlotte, or when you look at the Carolinas, bro, you know how many schools in the Carolinas? NC State, UNC, Wake, Duke, Clemson, South Carolina. Like, you got all these major D1 schools, but then you got all the black schools, the A&Ts, the South Carolina State, the Winston-Salems, the Johnson C. Smiths. Like, bro, it's so many schools. These people graduate every year. Where they going? What's the major market? Charlotte, Raleigh. So the Mounts 2 hours, the water 2 hours. Why would you leave? You could be in Atlanta in 3.5. You could be in DC in 5.5.
It's beautiful. You was talking about Sean T. You guys played at Miami together, also in Washington. Give me some good Sean Taylor stories, and also how did his death impact you afterwards?
Man, I think you know if you know Sean, it was just one of those. If you know Sean and how Sean carried himself, like who Sean was, for fans, Sean stayed with me when he first got to DC, so I was around him every day. You know, uh, when he got the DUI, he was leaving my house. You know, the Banshee situation that happened in in Perrine Ghouls.
Right.
Just being with him at that time when he left the rookie symposium and all the negativity that came from it, like being with him to see him deal with this, and grow from it, because the media was, he a bad person, he's this, he's, like, so to see him grow to where he shied away from the media and just kind of turned into a man amongst boys, but he was a baby, and now you turn into this crazy, just his mental, you turn to this crazy person, but it was a good thing. I always tell people a story. When I came in to do my testing, and Sean had been waiting for me to come. Everybody knew you got to, going into training camp, you got to pass the physical, all that. You got to do your little running test. So I come in, I wasn't in shape. I had been playing basketball, trying to get in shape. Normally use 2 days to get in shape and get myself right. So Sean had been kind of waiting around, like, where's CP at, When I get there, this man had on some Chuck Taylors, some little ripped jeans, and a black hoodie. And he was like, come on, man, I've been waiting for you. Let's knock this test out. I'm like, damn, when you start working out at 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It was 11 o'clock, not 1. They normally work out at 7 in the morning, whatever. So I ain't think nothing of it. We go out and do the test. I'm dying. He carrying me, making sure I make my times. Mother Dunn was our strength coach. And I remember after it was over, I'm laid out on the ground, like stretched out. I'm dead. I'm talking about I'm dead. And Sean grabbed his book bag, kind of vanished off into the facility. And when I finally come to, I go in and I'm like, dog, he just did the whole workout with me. And he didn't have to, but he just did it to push me to make sure I didn't cheat. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like thinking this so impressive. And he was like, oh yeah, that's his 4th time. He ran with every group today. I'm like, what the fuck?
Damn.
It was like, yeah, he ran with every group today.
That's crazy.
And I'm thinking like, damn, he just stuck around and do this with me. I gotta pick my stuff up,
Right,
like to find somebody who challenged you to the point where it make you a better you.
Right.
And I think that was Sean. That's what he was growing into. That was his lane, the elevation that he had. But just to say, a person that was, I can recall coming down the stairs and Sean playing heads up, or like he into weird stuff and playing like, the hell you doing down? Like, dog, what you did? Never have I ever. Like,
Yeah.
What is you doing? Like, what kind of game is this? Man, get up, let's go. He like, oh no, CP, I'm cool. Like, just cool, mellow, calm, but flip out the punt, the punter, like that's what he can turn into.
Yeah.
Best story, Andre Johnson, cold gangster, Hall of Fame inductee, class of 99. We're in Houston, all us talking. Me, Dre, Tanner, Sean. Redskins playing the Texans. I think it was preseason, so me and Tanner wasn't playing. Sean determined, like, he gonna play, Dre, we all talking before the game. It's cool conversation. Hey, Sean come up, Dre, how you doing, man? Good seeing you, brother. How's your mama? Whatever. We're like, yeah, I'm cool. All right, man, have a good game. walk off. First play, Dre made the deep over or that over route. I would say that was Andre Johnson was the first person
Right.
that I can remember that just dominated that. And I'm looking like, hold up, I hope Dre not finna run that. Because I see Sean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, like Tanner. Like, look, I'm hitting Tanner. And I'll be damned if Dre don't come on that route and Sean beeline it. So I'm like, is he gonna hit him? Like, it seemed like it was slow motion for the thoughts that we had. Like, is he gonna hit him? Is he gonna pull up? How this gonna pan out? And boy, Dre digging and they throw it. And I'm like, like, is it gonna happen?
Yeah.
And, as they come into the sideline, I see Sean, like, he going for it. And Dre dive. And Sean come across him. Like, his body come across Dre's. Like, Dre just ended up underneath him. And he come across the top. And Dre kind of land. It was an incomplete pass. Dre land. First down marker right here. Dre look up like, Portis, what the fuck wrong with Sean? And me and Tanner standing over here like, dog, he crazy. And Sean just roll over, jog back to the huddle like, bro, it's preseason. That's Dre. Like, that's us. That's the youth.
Fam.
It didn't matter,
He ain't turn it off for nothing, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think he was trying to hurt Dre.
Yeah.
And he might have.
Just in go mode.
Though, yeah, like he just in go mode. Like that's just him. And if you know him, that's him.
I mean, he did that. He got that infamous Pro Bowl hit too. In the meaningless game, he laying cats out.
You better pay attention. You better keep your head on the swivel.
They have this state of mind. They call it flow state. It's kind of like a focus where you kind of everything turns into like a blur. Have you ever had those moments in football where you're playing at a high level, having big games, and you look back on it, you don't even remember some of the plays?
Yeah, I done had numerous. College, high school, college, NFL. When you get into that zone, when you get into that rhythm, and it's like you feel it. Before my 5 touchdown game against the Kansas City Chiefs, when I called Pastor Troy and had him bring the belt.
Okay.
Pastors. You call Pastor Troy?
Yeah, I called Pastor Troy, had him bring the belt.
Yeah.
But I called him on Wednesday. The game was on Sunday. Already knew, like, I'm here, this is my moment type situation. So it's just that vibe or that rhythm, and you get into it. Like, when it's on you, like it's like when you go by that outfit and you go into a gala.
Yeah.
And you gonna kill it.
Yeah.
You gonna kill it.
Lay it out like the first day of school.
Yeah, this gonna kill him. So all week, like I'm about to put that shit on.
The preparation leading up to it, or like, cause don't start to get like a peak, right?
Yeah, but the preparation is huge. So just knowing your opponent and knowing what you're doing. Again, the outfit, when you lay it out, it's prepared. You took your time. You went over all the details. It's the same game plan. Go over the details. I done finesse this. I know these players. I know who gonna lean. I know who gonna thump. I know who gonna get out the way. I know where, like, once you learn that, the chess matches, it's easy. And then you break it down. I think a lot of the people who don't really succeed in sports don't understand breaking down their opponent. That's the only reason you don't see. You see so many guys, especially on the college level, that's so good in college, but say the game was too fast in the NFL. Game only too fast because you didn't figure out how to slow it down. You're looking at the big picture instead of my first read. Who is the person that on defense that gotta stop me, or who is the person on defense that I gotta beat? If this is executed perfect and I go where I'm supposed to go, like what's my stop? And then if you know your guys, okay, I know he struggled with this, so he not gonna get outside. He gonna be inside, which gonna keep me from getting outside. Now where am I going? So it's just that chess move, being ahead, knowing it's gonna happen. Because if you go watch film, some dudes might dominate on double teams. He look good. You put him one-on-one, shit, he always end up like on the ground, in the way. So you got to realize, do he got a double team or is he one-on-one? You know, like he got a jab step. What's going to get him here? Then you look at that defender, you break that defender down, like, what is he good at? What's his strength? Now, once you, I know this play developing before you say hut. I know what the play is. I know where I'm going. I know what this is supposed to do.
Let me get one more. So your freshman year, you came to Miami and played early right away, got busy. First freshman to start since 1975 when you started. You get to the NFL, rookie of the year. Like saying you get productive and you get active pretty fast. Did preparation lead to all that same recipe?
Yeah, I mean, it's preparation, the competitor. You feel like it happened fast. I felt like my freshman year, I didn't get my opportunity to East Carolina. That was week 4.
Right.
You know, I felt like I should have played Ohio State week 1. And Najee Davenport blew out his knee in the opening game in the kickoff classic, New York. Blew out his ACL. James Jackson, Najee Davenport. Those were the 1-2 backs. Najee go down. Me and Jared Payton, 3-4. James Jackson played the entire game.
Yeah, you said there was this one moment where James Jackson turned you into a beast.
It was that game.
When he told you.
It wasn't no one moment. It was that game. Yeah. James, before that game, I'm a true freshman. James Jackson with all it. EJ just left. You know, James was that nagging B behind Edge. Now when James get his opportunity, I'm that nagging B behind him. You know, JJ told me before the game, he said, Portis, man, I got a bet for you. I bet you in the first 3 plays that I have a 50-yard run for a touchdown. We'll bet $100. Hell yeah, let's bet. Cool. Ohio State, Nell Diggs, they got all these Nate Clement, you know, they got all these players. No way he gonna do this. Second play of the game, he do it. 53 yards down the sideline. And from that point on, we bet it every game. We bet it on most yards. Week 1, he win. Week 2, I think we played FAMU. I might have came in. It was kind of garbage time, and I wasn't no garbage time player. Like, I want my action against the one. I don't want to play against. Like, I know what I'm going to do against FAMU, so I can't get hyped for that game.
Right.
Then we play Penn State. So, in 3 games, I had garbage time against FAMU. JJ played the first, you know, Ohio State, Penn State. JJ played the entire game. So now, I'm trying to, I think week 4 we go to East Carolina. Week 4 we go to East Carolina. I'm in the locker room. JJ sprained his ankle in warm-ups. So Coach Saul come in and tell me, hey, here go you. Hey, Coach Saul exact words. Hey, bro, you said I'd be holding you back. I said, yeah, you know it. I'm not holding your fucking ass back anymore. Right. You're starting. James went down. What? You tell me this 10 minutes before kickoff. And he wanted to go over the game plan, make sure I understand. At halftime of that game, I had 11 carries for like 110, 120.
Going
2
crazy.
touchdowns. So I'm thinking, this is it. Boy, I'm about to take off. Come out of halftime, they pulled me out of the game.
Damn.
That's how I was. Like, damn.
Was it because y'all was loaded and y'all was winning, or they just like
We were winning. We were up 21-10. That was David Garrard famous game where East Carolina came back and beat us.
Right.
Took me out. Halftime, they took me out. JJ went back in the game. I'm like, I thought he was hurt. Coach Saul,
that boy saw you on. He was out there shining. He's like, man, I gotta get some of this.
Coach Saul kind of like shaking his head. Like, I come back, media like, oh, Portis, they said you were hurt. That's why you couldn't play the second half. Shit, I wasn't hurt. What you talking about? Coach Davis called me into his office. Go into his office. Oh, Clinton, man, why did you throw me under the bus? What you talking about? Oh, man, you told the media you weren't hurt. Shit, I wasn't.
Right.
You threw me under the bus. I didn't throw you under the bus. So with that, I saw the business. You know, he was trying to keep, because he had that already going on with Edge, JJ, Najee. Now it's JJ, Najee, me. He was trying to keep that down. Yeah. So to get James into position to go on to the next level.
Let me ask you something, because I like, that's the thing I was talking with some guys about the other day. Like, football become politics. So I'm a Gator fan, and I watch like certain positions, you can see the backup better. But this senior or junior, he about to go to the NFL. So if there's a freshman and sophomore that's really better out of just the spirit of competition, that coach isn't gonna bench a guy because it can hurt his NFL prospects, right? That's similar situations, correct?
Well, I think in that situation, if you're the coach's guy, you know, on every team in sports, if you ask the players, it's somebody else that should be playing. Even for the stars on most teams, not the stars. It's just
politics.
This is game plan for you to shine. You know, why do people leave a situation when they get traded, it don't work out? Like, you kind of disappeared. Like, you fell out of the situation that was beneficial to you. You know, you look at, oh man, this man was doing this under this D coordinator, or how many sacks he had, or how many tackles he had. That D coordinator knew how to use him. The other one don't. You know, you look at corners. A corner been playing cover 3 up here. All of a sudden, you making him play man.
Right.
He don't play man. He his own corner.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just one of those transitions. Favoritism. It's so much to go into sports, man. It's not just the politics, the now you got the NIL, which is name, image, likeness, but that's been in sports, you know? Your name, your image, how you carry yourself, like, that's been in sport. Do these people like me?
Right.
You know, like, now it's just different, but name, image, likeness, been in sports forever. If your coach don't like you, your ass is grass. If your image not good, your ass is grass. If your name get erased off Coach Solinger board, your ass is grass. You know, so it's just one of those situations.
I don't mind going back to the visit. You said you stayed with James Jackson. Was he the one who hosted you on the visit?
No, Kenny Kelly was my host. That's crazy. Kenny Kelly was my host, which, you know, Kenny Kelly was the 2 sports star. He played baseball as well. So Kenny Kelly was my host, but after, you know, being around Kenny, we didn't have the same likeness. You know, he was already drafted in baseball. So when we're hanging out, I realized, shit, Tanner, my partner, like, this who I fuck with, you know, like, I just walked up to him. And I know these people thought I was crazy. Like, hey, yo, man, you could dip. I know you don't even really want to go out anyway. So just get my little per diem to Tanner. I'm going to hang with them. You good. Oh, you going to go with them? Yeah, I'm going with them. I don't want to. You want to go to Coconut Grove. They want to go to Cocoa. You know, like, I'm going to Cocoa. So it was just one of those finding your lane, finding people that that vibe with you.
And Coco's did it. That's what got you to sign a deal.
Coco's definitely did it. That same night, Coco's did it. Yeah.
Coco's a beautiful vibe, man. Just the nightlife in Miami is a beautiful vibe. Coming from these country towns, you're in Mississippi, Gainesville, that transition to Miami could be tricky. The city could be too big for the wrong player, and it can engulf some guys sometimes. What was it like for you? How did you transition so smooth?
See, in Mississippi, you know, you got this one or two spots that people gonna go to. It's been going for years. People gonna go to the same spot. This one spot every weekend is the spot, Friday and Saturday, and you go there like it's brand new. But the DJ gonna give you everything you looking for. You're gonna go have a blast. But next weekend, you going to that same spot. You don't have options. When I got to Gainesville, it was kind of Florida theater. Maybe you got two, 3 spots. And then you get to Miami, that I went from 1 to 3, and now you get to Miami, it's like 200. But instead of you getting excited about them 200, you're like, oh, let me find my way. Like, let me sit back and see where I'm supposed to go. Like South Beach, nah, that ain't my crowd. Coconut Grove, on this night, cool. You know, they had the Improv, which was crazy back then. You know, so we used to go to the Improv, and then they had the little Monday night thing. So it's just finding your lanes, and then the people that you deal with, like, okay, 10 of them was from Carroll City. Where did we hang out?
Carroll City.
In that area. What do we do? Go to high school football games. Everybody from down here played high school. It was a rivalry every week. Where we going? That's where we going. So you just find your lane, what you into, and all y'all elevate together.
Them boys went in your ear though in Gainesville. You said like them boys would be stop traffic. Fred and Javon Person have foot braces. They went like in your ear trying to get you to commit.
Nah, but they used to come to our games. I just think those were that era of Fred T, Javon, Ike, Riedel, Jaquez, Green, Gerard Warren, like, bro, them people was like bigger than life, you know, in our town, just because of what they meant to the city at the University of Florida. So I remember seeing them shut traffic down for Javon and Fred T to race up University, which was the main street. And the police was sitting there looking at the race. And I'm like, damn, they got juice. Like, that's how I want to be. Like,
who won the race?
They got it. I don't even remember who won the race. You know, maybe they like ran off and stopped at playing. You know, they was drunk at that point. But just to see that, like, damn, that's the kind of access you get from playing ball.
What was Spurrier like in recruitment?
Our phone call went like this. Hey, Clinton. Hey, Clinton. This Spurrier, we're thinking about offering you a DB. What do you think? So I think y'all should offer somebody else.
Damn.
Like, oh, okay. It was over with. So it was one of those. And Spurrier was the man.
At that time.
What? Spurrier was the man. To this day, college coach, like, he's still one of my favorite college coaches.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, I didn't really work in that system, you know. And Fred T is the one who made me like Florida system. I seen Fred T because they had another running back. I think it was McCallum. I said they moved Elijah Williams.
Yeah.
No, Elijah Williams was a running back. Fred T had an outstanding spring game, and the next thing you know, Elijah Williams was playing DB.
That DB, 100%.
And I was sitting in the stands when it happened. Like, I saw this. Like, damn, they just moved buddy position like that.
He wasn't a bad running back. He was one of the top guys coming out of high school. Give me your top Florida backs, man. You got, of course, the crew at Miami. You got Fred T. You got Emmitt Smith, Dalvin Cook, Warwick Dunn. The list just goes on, man. Just straight killers.
If you're talking about high school football, none of those guys even. Travis Henry, frostproof.
Right, yeah.
Travis Henry, coldest thing I ever seen.
Really?
What?
I wouldn't have guessed that one.
No,
Travis Henry?
Travis Henry was crazy.
So he went 2000, even going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Travis Henry was the one, you know. I think when you look at college, what Freddie T was doing in Florida, because I was there, you know, and I can even remember Coach Saul telling me about Edge, like, oh, he's gonna go in front of Ricky Williams in the draft. Man, you tripping, man. Ricky Williams going, you know, like, it's like, nah, just listen to me. Bro, that running back ain't going before Ricky Williams.
Ricky had Heisman year at that time.
Yeah.
Edge go out and have them 299 against UCLA. I'm like, who is? I still didn't believe it. Yeah, number 4 pick in the NFL draft, Edgerrin James. He went before Ricky.
He showed out on that 40 too, though.
He just showed out. And then, you know, to look back now and say Edge was a major part of me coming to UM as well. You know, after that moment in Coco's, we had an on the field engagement. What was me and Edge, and he just was like, hey man, you coming here? I say, man, you going to the NFL? If you going to the NFL, if you leaving, I'm coming. And he, you know, no Diddy moment off. So I said, if you're going to the NFL, then I'm gonna come here. And he said, it shouldn't matter whether I go to the NFL or not. You should come here for the competition. And I felt that. And from that point on, I ain't never ducked no smoke. You know, it was just one of those, you don't want people giving you empty promises. It's not gonna bring the best out of you. Like you wanna figure out if you're a dog, get around other dogs.
Yeah.
You know, like you wanna see if you got a big bite or a big bark or whatever it is. You can't do it sitting around a cat, you know?
Iron sharpened iron.
Iron sharp as iron.
Man, we in good times for Miami right now. Cristobal, former Miami guy, leading the way down there. Seems like y'all got some resurgence going on. What's your feel on that whole regime right now?
Man, I think he's doing a great job, but I think it's more of he back recruiting his backyard. And for all of, I would say probably since Coach Shannon, you haven't had someone at the University of Miami dominate the recruiting in South Florida. And once you start dominating the recruiting in South Florida, you don't need to go all over the world. A 3-star or a 2-star in South Florida, way better than most 5-stars in other states, you know? Unless you find some kids, you know, in the SEC region, the LSUs, the Louisianas, to, I would say Louisiana, Mississippi, Bama, Georgia. You get something out of Tennessee, Carolinas. But that's the only place I'm recruiting. Unless I need a lineman, I'll go elsewhere. Maybe if I need a quarterback, I'll go to Cali or go to Texas. But other than that, skill positions, I'm not leaving Florida.
You don't think the NIL landscape kind of like changed all that though? I know he's doing well with recruiting because Miami they have a bag and they give that bread out. But looking at the landscape of football now, like it's hard to see like, all right, every year you normally know like, all right, this is gonna be the top 3-4 teams.
It's a lot of parity now.
Yeah.
Well, I think just when you look at it, you're seeing Vanderbilt beat Alabama, you know. Who did Florida State lose to early that ruined their season?
Everybody.
You're giving the bag.
Golly.
Just saying, like, if you give the bag to the wrong people, The focus still can't be the bag, and you can't just be throwing the bag around. Like, the chemistry means a lot in the locker room. If that lead voice, and that's what's making Miami or taking Miami to the level that they are, because the lead voice in that locker room is not just Cristobal, it's Cam Ward. And just from Cam Ward leadership, from Cam Ward abilities, the confidence to know I'm getting it done, it kind of trickle off to all his teammates. So when you're looking at a voice that you believe in, that's putting the work in, that's doing what he's supposed to be doing, everybody responds. So that's why that team looks the way they look, because now the voice is in the locker room, not the coach voice. Yeah. Coach can call the plays. They don't give you that I'm the dog. Like, you telling me a play, I still got to go out and execute. So that voice of execution is Cam. Like, for you to point and say, hey, we coming right here. Yeah. This is where we coming.
That's crazy. He do it all the time.
Like, I don't care what you talking about. This is where we coming to. Stop.
Yeah.
When you start getting players at that caliber, that's when your locker room changed. And recruits see it. The world see it. Like, college football is different. When the teams in Florida, I won't even just say to you, when teams in Florida are relevant, college football is different.
Oh yeah.
100%.
And like now, a lot of you starting to see some of these kids being lied to on the trail when it comes to like different NIL opportunities. Your kid is blessed to have you as a father to be able to kind of help him navigate those situations. Can you speak to that? Have you ever been lied to on the trail? And
at this point, just because my kid 2026, like, we're not even on that, but I know we putting it in writing. Mm-hmm. You know, it won't be he say, she say. We're gonna put it in writing if my kid get that opportunity or when the time comes. So that's not even something we were worried about. Like, oh man, like, we trying to get, bro. That's gonna take care of itself when the time comes. You know, at this point, it was just a recruitment. Don't cheat my son by thinking it's legacy, and I'm sitting at the house saying, nah, Cam, or his mom in his ear saying, baby, you got to go to the U because we went. Nah, like, if you want to go to Ohio State, that's on you. I'll put on fucking Ohio State gear and I'm coming.
Already.
You see? Yeah. But to this point, the U has done everything they're supposed to do to get my son, you know? So you don't knock that. But when it comes to NIL, you saying like, oh man, these coaches lying to players. These players lying to coaches because they not who they talking about. You know, you're not getting, I'll back out of it too. Yeah. You know, like, imagine, and I'm not one to call out names or trash players, but imagine some of the people that got a bag that has underperformed this season. Yeah. Like, I wish you'd have lied to me, or I wish I wouldn't have gave you that money, you know, and you're going to jump up and bounce anyway. So yeah. It's just one of those kind of, how do you police it, you know? I just hope it's still the Wild Wild West when my kids come through.
Yeah, I think so. Like, you guys going to the NFL, you got to deal with the new money at an older age, right? The hanger-ons, the women, maybe the financial irresponsibility at a little older age. NIL, some could get it even high school, right? So what type of advice would you give somebody having to navigate those waters at a very young age?
Man, I think because you don't even get that financial education as an adult going to the NFL, you know, it's even harder to stop a kid that's in high school. Because for us, normally, the lead voice in the house was the bag. Mm-hmm. Whoever was getting the money, even you had dope dealers, or, you know, you got people that's in the game that's taking care of families. That's the voice because they got the bag. But then when you talk about this type of money, The kid got the bag.
Right.
And you got to go through this kid. And now this kid is divorced. So it's his decision. And a kid making an adult decision, or it changes, it changes a lot of landscapes, and you putting a lot of pressure on them, because if it don't work out, and what people don't realize, I don't care how much money it is, even you look at Diddy's situation with billions. When you start out, and nothing coming in, you're gonna go through something.
Yeah.
And then you see them people disappear because they was around when it was out. Like they was around when you was up. So for me, it's just one of those, realize who your crew is. Look at the people who are around you. Matter of fact, learn how to be alone. You don't have to have a hype man. You don't have to have a hype man constantly. You got brothers, so that's a good thing. It's enough of us that you don't need to go out and find no other friends. Like, it's in the car outside, it's 4 of us already.
Yeah.
So if you want to invite your friend, like, your friend got to drive, like, your friend got to drive. He don't want to sit middleman. He don't want to sit third, and that's corny, So it's kind of one of those situations where I hope, for mine at least, that they lean on each other compared to a hype man, a yes man, or any of that they already seen it. I went through this shit, so hopefully you don't have to.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to women, when you get money, you pretty, you cute,
Oh yeah.
Like,
Even
with
Flavor
no,
Flav.
with no money in your pocket, who was looking at you?
Yeah.
The Mirror.
Looking at you.
What was it like, and we're going to wrap it up in a little minute, but what was it like for you? Because everybody shed people as they elevate. And sometimes it could be, relatives, close friends that you never thought you'd not be friends with. And we as all as men have felt that before, man. What was that like for you?
Man, me and Edge was just having this conversation. I told Edge, I said, dawg, you know what? I wish I had a picture of our crews when we were rolling, like back in 04 or 05. Like, I wish I had a picture of Tanner was showing up with probably 12, Dre showing up with probably 5, E showing up with 20, I'm showing up with probably 10, and this is us. I wish we had one picture that showed this our 50-man crew, and now look at that picture and see who's still rolling. Like, damn, what happened to him? Like, damn, remember Buddy did this? Like, that's how he got X'd out. Like, you know what I mean? And every crew got him. It's family, it's friends, it's the people that was probably closer to you that you been yeah. And then one day you like, dawg, I can't do it today. It changes. You look at Dirk's situation.
Yeah.
Dawg, that's crazy.
Yeah.
For your main man.
Yeah.
But how else do somebody get under you to hurt you? It gotta be somebody close to you. You can't come over here and take advantage of me. So it gotta be my main man to get underneath me, or my main lady to get underneath me, So it's just one of those, man, learn how to be by yourself. Don't really pick up, and this would be my advice to people. Learn how to appreciate yourself. Learn how to have a good time, just you. I could sit in the car, man, I sit in the car and sing the blues, you think I'm performing. But that's therapeutic to me.
Yeah.
I could watch baseball at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock game on baseball. Let me look at the baseball schedule and see its games from 1 to 9. This is my day that I get to sit in front of the TV. Baseball calm, cool. Like, I'm in awe just to say, bro, that's crazy how that pitcher just threw this ball. and it started over here and dropped down here.
Yeah.
And whether I swing or I don't, it's gonna be a strike anyway. You know? So you just start finding, I think in when you move in it solo, you start to realize a lot of things that you appreciate compared to when you're moving in a crew and you kind of appreciate things that benefit everybody.
You're a huge advocate of prison reform and justice. What I know you've mentioned also that like when you had that moment, that was the first time you actually got to gather your thoughts, get to yourself. When you was going through those times, who did you lean on? Who was that voice that kind of like helped you get through your moment?
You and God is a person you should be leaning on. Yeah. But you realize some people elevate in those moments. Like the people that you least expect are the ones that elevate to lift you up. You know, like probably the people that I respect most was people I didn't even count on or wouldn't have even thought was paying attention to what I was going through compared to some of the people that were around me that I just removed myself from, you know? So in that situation, I think even when you see people crashing out inside, it's like the people you count on, that day you call and you got to have somebody send you a couple dollars and they ain't got it.
Right.
And now you crashing out.
Yeah.
Outside, life is still going on. I know you inside and you think this person is supposed to be there for you, but bills got to be paid out there. You eat 3 times a day in here. You get free water, your showers, your steam, you know, like you got all this. But outside, life is still life.
I love how you came out, and that's how you say you want to be a voice for the voiceless and for those people. There's a lot of people that's in that systems, and in our culture, we get wrapped up in them systems a lot. What's your thoughts on the criminal justice system now?
I think it's screwed. You know, I think the system is screwed up, but there's so many old rules are in place that's been in place and didn't evolve. You know, it's like when people talk about inflation, everything, gas is up, groceries is up, everything is up except for the money you paying me. Everything is up except for the money you paying me. So how do you think I'm supposed to survive? You know, like my lifestyle got more expensive, but I'm not bringing in more money. I'm crash. That's only right. So I just think a lot of people have to kind of gather themselves and realize the ones who can help. But if you can't, don't go out your way or interfere with your food trying to support somebody else. Because at the end of the day, especially in there, you realize, boy, I'm going out on this thing alone.
Yeah.
Like, it's just me. When you get some time, all that, I'm going to do it with you, shit. I'm the only one eating this food. I'm the one laying here on this hard bed. It's me, you know? So I just think for me, like having that experience, realizing how many people that probably innocent didn't have the funds to fight it, probably shouldn't be doing the time that they're doing, even if they're not innocent. It was a honest mistake, or I'm trying to get it. Don't mean you should punish me for 20 to 25 years if it's a non-violent, you know. You just, in hearing people's stories, man, we don't take the time to talk. You realize you need to talk to your brother, talk to your neighbors, talk to your, talk, just call it to check on your people. Like, dog, what's good? Like, being in somebody's presence does a lot.
Yeah.
Because as men, we don't say I love you. We don't say I'm sorry. We don't ask if you need me. When somebody's supposed to tell you what they're going through?
Yeah. Communication is just life, man. You got to talk to communicate. We got to get up out of here a little bit. What you think about LeBron and Bronny right now? NBA, Lakers, same time, made some history, but it's a little Like he forced it a little bit, but what
Whether
you
he
thought?
forced it or not, the other side been forcing it forever.
Yeah,
Whether he forced it or not, he deserved, for what he's given to the sports world, he deserved to be able to force it. Whether his son is capable of playing or his son ain't gonna, he should be in G League. He deserved that moment. He put in enough work. If this is all I'm asking of you, after I done gave you 20 years and I'm in the realm of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and Wilt or whoever you think the GOATs are, I done gave you 20 years. And I'm just asking you to do me a favor so I can walk out and really solidify my legacy. I don't give a damn if it's doctored or not.
Yeah.
He deserved that moment. You know, like he deserved that moment. When you look at billionaires who worked hard, or you know, they built this company from ground up, and then they got a kid that they give it to.
yeah,
Nobody complains about that. Like, this kid hasn't put in any work. This kid don't deserve to be, but it was already done for you. And I think that's the power of having Bron in the situation, because he been a class act from day one. He been family oriented from day one. You don't see him involved, or, you know, like we don't know him on a daily, but for the days that we're exposed to him, who are you with? Who are you with?
With his family.
And his
Family,
friends, they getting
yeah,
money.
family, friends,
His friends, they getting
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
He put them on. He
You
put
see
us
what
on
I'm
the
saying?
game. Yeah.
He put them in position to get their own money.
Yeah,
That's how you can keep them friends around, because they not sitting here looking at you and like, damn, I'm envious of his life. Put you in position. Now, hey, you get your old lady, I got my old lady, we take a trip together.
yeah,
It's fun that way. It ain't fun when I just got my old lady and every time you go, you hunting or you looking or you pulling
Yeah.
my bag, you know, like, are you feeling less of a man? I'm like, hey man, get my old lady bag. Shit, I brought you on the trip. I ain't tapping your old lady, nigga. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's how you want to respond
yeah.
when you're being fed.
Yeah.
That's how you want to respond. But if you got your own,
Move like a king.
yeah, move like a king. Man.
Yeah, LeBron did it how everybody dreams to do it, man. Like making it, bringing your family, friends along and keeping it intact, but empowering them. No scandals, you know, no shenanigans, no arrests. He did it like he's the poster child, how it's supposed to be done, man.
That man deserves
100%.
everything that comes his way just for, and people always look at like, oh, these athletes are dumb. LeBron the first blueprint for us. LeBron is the first blueprint that we done seen through. We didn't see Shaq blueprint. We didn't see Magic Johnson blueprint.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
We know they getting it, but we didn't see it. LeBron gave you the blueprint. Like, look, these my partners. I put them in position, and now they blossoming. Like, this how you supposed to do it.
High school sweetheart,
Yeah, like
all of it, man.
he gave us that blueprint.
Yeah.
We didn't see that.
Man, watching Showtime, man, Magic Blueprint. Wow, boy, I don't know about that. Boy, I got Wow Blueprint.
But look at him now.
Yeah, speaking of Wow,
You're paying. You'll pay him to sit down to see his blueprint.
absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of Wild Blueprints, you know, Shannon Sharp kind of kicked off a lot of shenanigans. We know that was your teammate. You had this one story. You said y'all flew out a dozen of Miami best out to Denver. You got any funny Shannon Sharp stories?
Man, I got plenty of Sharp. Sharp gave me most of that pole, what people calling me pole with. I guess Al and Shannon did the booty do thing. When people used to call me booty do. But what's crazy is he's always been that way. He always been animated. He always been that way. But good people, mean well, like a great leader, great teammate. Cause I was like 14th, 15th on the totem pole, probably lower than that when I got to Denver. I just gave myself I'm 15th on the totem pole. They 2 years removed from winning the Super Bowl. It was so many veteran leaders or so many veteran voices or, you know what I mean, Sharp, Rod Smith, Al Wilson, Eddie McCaffrey, Tom Nalen, Brian Greasy. Like, bro, we were loaded. So to have that leadership, you think Gary Kubiak, Mike Shanahan, you know, like to have those voices, you thinking this is the NFL, like this is everywhere. So when you leave that and you gotta like learn how to create it, you saying, who is our Shannon Sharp? Like, who is our Rod Smith? Who is our Eddie Mack? Like, who is our guy that's gonna get us together? Like, what partnership's gonna make this team work? So they just had to figure it out. And I think just for Shannon, man, he been loud. That's him. That's authentic Shannon Sharp is what I would say to anybody that asks. Like, that's authentic.
No favorite moment with him?
My favorite moment with him, it would have to be, Shannon is the one who brought the belt on the sideline. No one ever knew that. But he brought the belt out for the Chiefs game. The game that I probably would have got kicked out of the NFL. I'm getting ready to go tap on Coach Shanahan's door, tell him I'm hungover. Sharp stopped me. So to me, that would be the moment that I'm like, damn. Cause I don't know, I can't go tell you this. I never been hungover for a game. But me being me, I'm about to be honest. I'm not finna make up no lie and tell you, oh man, my stomach hurt, I got food poisoning, I'm sick. Like, coach, bro, everybody know we just had rookie night on Friday night. I didn't know it was gonna linger to Sunday, you know? So it was just one of those situations in me. That's why I look at the leadership or the voice of Shannon. Like, I was getting ready to knock on the door. I didn't go tell him. He just saw me. Like, whoa, what you doing? Boy, I'm about to go tell Coach Shanahan I can't play. No. He gave me a blueprint. This is what you do. Don't go and knock on that. That ain't them folks' problem. But how different is life if I go tell him that? Because that was one of my best games in my eyes. So if I go knock on that door and say I can't play, we never get that moment.
And also as a professional, you know, you looked at it a little bit different because it's not college no more. It's big boy leagues, man.
And that's what he told me. Hey, shit, that ain't his problem.
Yeah. It's also crazy that he gave you the name Booty Dude.
Yeah.
That might have been Al. That was probably just Al Wilson. So
I'm still trying to figure out how that, like, I ain't never heard of that one.
You never heard of Booty Dude?
Nah.
Yeah, that's a Southern thing. I done heard that joke before.
I know you had a lot of costumes and whatnot. How was your Halloween? I mean, it's almost Halloween. How was your Halloween as a kid?
I'm not even I don't even really celebrate Halloween. Them costumes was just like me having fun, me playing around. I was in Atlantic City or something, seen a costume store. It was Halloween season. Like, I just had them purchase a couple. I think I bought 3 costumes, and just playing around, being silly. I wasn't practicing. Like, team morale was down. Like, man, I'm doing something crazy just to, kind of lighten guys up, make guys laugh. And the media called it early. It was like a rain day. So the media came out. By the time we coming off the field, all the cameras already set up.
Oh, so you ain't got nothing set for next week?
Nothing.
Oh, man.
I didn't even realize you talking about Halloween. I'm thinking, shit, boy, it's FAMU homecoming. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to hang out.
Already.
Tell you what, we might be down there for class.
It's going to be the classic homecoming in Tally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You support them HBCUs, man. That's love right there.
Yeah, man, you got to. Like, that's our upbringing. and we get away from it. I was raised Jackson State, Grambling, Mississippi Valley, Alcorn, Steve McNair. You know, like that's what I was raised off of. That was me and my dad bond. That was our bond. That's what we did. We followed HBCU. It was a swag, not HBCU. It was a swag back then. And Eddie Robinson was the legend. You know, Steve McNair was our folklore. You know, like that's what it was. So now to be able to go and support or participate, you got friends there, so you're going to rock anyway. So.
Yeah, two questions before we roll out, and one dealing with you said ain't no way nobody on Instagram taking pictures gonna beat our 2001 team, because they were comparing the LSU team being able to beat y'all. If they couldn't do it, who you think had the best chance of beating that 2001 team?
I just don't see it. Probably somebody that was in 2001 that we was overlooking. Like, I think when you look at that Boston College game, it never should have been that close. Like, people always say, oh, y'all almost lost to Boston College. Go pull the stats up. We probably had 600 yards of offense. Boston College probably had 150. Like, we dominated that game, just turned the ball over. You look at the Virginia Tech, we dominated the game, and they end up blocking a punt. They end up blocking a punt. I mean, we 20 minutes away. We ready to celebrate. We ready to play with the roses instead of finishing, you know? So if I say anybody could have beat the 2001 Hurricanes, it'll probably be the 2000 Hurricanes. They got cheated out of the opportunity of playing for a national championship, because that team had everybody from 01, but you got to add Santana, Reggie, Dan Morgan, Damian Lewis, Al Blades, like that team.
Y'all smacking that UF team too with Tebow and them on it?
Man, what? Tebow gonna beat us? I don't see it. No. You know you know the debate that I want to have? Go ask them players that was on them teams if they thought they could beat us. Cause you never see, you go through them comments, you don't see no LSU guys responding that was on that 2019 team. You don't see nobody saying, yeah, we'd have kicked their ass. You don't see that. Go find the Gators. I think the Gators, Percy, one of my favorite players of all time. I love Percy Harvin. Joe Hayden, I raised Joe Hayden. Major Wright, like I raised Major Wright. When you look at these dudes, they didn't want no smoke with us. They weren't ready.
Yeah, a lot of people consider that the greatest college football team ever. Just on play depth, like from just starting from the ones to the threes, man. It was just absolutely loaded at every position. But I don't want to hold you too much longer, man. It's a Flo Factory Podcast. I appreciate you for coming through, hanging out, kicking it with us. It was a special interview for me, man. You grew up came out around the same time I came out, so I remember that energy of what Miami was, man. Down here in South Florida, we West Palm, originally from Belgrade. Grew up with James Jackson, younger brothers. Played baseball with them boys. His dad coached us, so we knew how big James Jackson was. And he was originally supposed to go to Notre Dame. Some things went wrong. He ended up at Miami, after JUCO, I think. But Miami was just, at that time, every Florida team had their run, but that time, like, Miami was just on top, and you guys were just absolute legends, man.
Man, appreciate it, man.
Thank you for showing up and showing us love, man.
Appreciate y'all having
Flo.